In this segment, we'll be going over text-related items, how to align, bullet use, preferred font sizes, auto sizing, etc. So we'll start by going over the default settings and what would be the optimal usage. So to start with, the headings are defaulted at 28 point text and bold in Arial, and the bullets are set for 19 point by default. It is recommended that you keep within that when possible. Next thing I'd like to go over is the auto sizing. Some people have auto sizing where it auto shrinks down to fit. In this case, we are not doing that. We are allowing it to be manually done, but not automated. The reason being is if it is automated, then frequently the size gets away from you and you are dealing with a font size that is not optimal for projection. So in this case, if you have too many items, there are various ways to overcome that. If you have a list and it is rather small in nature as far as number of characters per line, you have the option to assign a 2-column or 3-column option. This would allow you to keep the same size and keep everything on one page. Obviously, that's not always possible. So another option that would be recommended is to choose a new bulleted master slide, take the remaining bullets that do not fit, cut them, and paste them in a new slide. So when we do that, it allows us to keep the proper sizing, and then we just split it over 2 slides. So that is another option. So that is something that I would like you to consider, to break out slides whenever it is reasonable to do so. Next, we will be going over working with text boxes and how that would perform. So if you choose text box under the Home tab, you can simply click there. You'll notice that it is very tight because the way that it is set up is it is set up to auto fit the text that you have. So for example, if this is all we're doing, it's going to remain tight. Now if we were to come up here and combine them all into one line, you will see that it will grow horizontally, but vertically it will not. But then if we do this, then it will grow. So it's a very efficient way to save space and not have to go in and manually modify everything. Conversely, if you do want to have that spacing set up for you, you can do that. So you can just go to text box and then draw a text box instead. So if you wanted it to be this width, it will automatically be this width. And then you'll see that it will stay horizontally in a predefined space, but vertically it will grow as needed. So a use for both, and it just depends on how you prefer to work with it. Please note that you can also do other things as a group. So you can apply formatting to your entire text box at once. So for example, you can add bullets, you can add numbering, you can change your font color, you can change your font size, you can even change your paragraph spacing. So there is a wide variety of things that you can do. You can also assign where you want it to go. Other text options, underline text options, we can shrink it, not shrink it, auto fit it, wrap text, not wrap text. If we take off that we don't want to wrap text, you'll see that it can get quite out of control. So I do prefer to keep wrap text on. So that is just my preference because it is a more efficient approach. So these are just different things that you can look into. And then of course we have shape options, things of that nature. So I would encourage you to explore those various options. And so we went over the bullets, we went over all that. And there are situations where you may actually want to just change small bits of information, and you can do that. So, for example, if you have specific characters or words that you want to emphasize, you can simply select and apply a color to it. You can also apply bold, italic, underline, whatever you need to provide the appropriate emphasis. Again, I do recommend that you use the colors in the top tier because those are the approved ICANN colors. If you need to use other ones, then these are other colors that could be used, but always best to use the top level whenever possible. Thank you.